Okay, get comfortable, folks, because this time we're diving headfirst into the world of mattress making machine operators. We love to dig deep, but wow, this one is a doozy. So much here. We've got a whole career guide from RoleCatcher, even interview tips, the works.
It's amazing, isn't it? We literally spend a third of our lives on mattresses, but how often do we actually stop and think about the people who make them, right?
Right, and that's what's so cool about this RoleCatcher guide we've got here. Mattress Making Machine Operator. The complete career guide. It pulls back the curtain on this whole other world. So let's get down to, what does a mattress making machine operator actually do? Paint a picture for us.
Well, forget just pushing a button. Think of them more like, I don't know, conductors of a mattress symphony, orchestrating all these different materials and machines.
A mattress symphony. I like that.
You've got your foam, your cotton, those inner spring assemblies, the metal coils that give a mattress that springiness.
Right. The core of the whole operation.
Exactly. And they're the ones feeding it all into these specialized machines, making the pads, the coverings, building a mattress from the inside out.
So they're like cutting, spreading, fitting it all together.
Precisely. The guide actually breaks down all the different parts of a mattress. It's way more complex than you'd think, like layers upon layers of comfort and support. It's pretty wild.
Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for it now. It sounds like it takes a good deal of technical skill, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And not just technical skills. You got to be a problem solver, too. Imagine a machine jams or something's not feeding right. You got to diagnose it on the spot and figure out how to fix it.
It's that mix of hands-on work and quick thinking, right? That really comes across in the guide.
Totally. But yeah, it's not all sunshine and roses. The guide is upfront about this being a demanding job. Physically, you're on your feet, moving around constantly.
Yeah, got to be in decent shape for this one, I'd imagine. Not your typical desk job, for sure. Although there's a creative aspect to it too, right? I mean, the guide mentions experimenting with different materials and techniques.
Oh, for sure. There's definitely space for that. And the guide makes a point of saying those opportunities tend to come with experience. You work your way up, kind of like leveling up in a video game. They've got this whole career ladder laid out, starting from entry level all the way to lead mattress making machine operator.
Okay, now you've got me hooked. Let's unpack that career path a little. What are we talking about at the entry level? What's a typical day like for someone just starting out?
Well, at the entry level, think of it like you're an apprentice. You're shadowing the more experienced operators, getting a feel for things.
Right, learning the ropes.
Exactly. The guide mentions stuff like setting up the machines, helping out with material changes, and those quality control checks. Got to be on top of those. It's all about building that foundation.
Paying your dues, absorbing all that knowledge.
Yeah.
Then, as you progress, you get more autonomy.
Yeah.
More responsibility.
Precisely. So a junior operator, they might be running a specific machine on their own, dealing with any hiccups, little things that come up, maybe even doing some basic upkeep maintenance.
Yep. I can see how that would be really satisfying, mastering a certain part of the process. What about the next step up, senior mattress making machine operator? That's where the leadership stuff kicks in, yeah.
Yeah, you got it. This is where you start sharing the knowledge, training the newbies, making sure everyone's following safety protocols, maybe even suggesting ways to make things run smoother.
So you're not just responsible for your own work.
Yeah.
You're kind of guiding the whole team.
Exactly. It's a big responsibility. But the guide really emphasizes that sense of, I don't know, like ownership you develop over the process.
Right. Taking pride in your work. Okay, so now for the big leagues, lead mattress making machine operator. This is it, the top of the mattress mountain. You must need years of experience under your belt to land this gig.
For sure, it's the culmination of all those years, all that knowledge. You're basically overseeing everything, the whole production from start to finish. We're talking about managing inventory, ensuring quality, working with other departments. It's a lot.
So it's a super strategic role, huh? Not just knowing the technical stuff, but also being a strong leader, a good communicator.
Absolutely. And the guide actually includes some quotes from real-life lead operators.
Oh, cool. What are they saying?
One of them said they started on the factory floor, worked their way up over 20 years, talk about dedication.
Wow. It just goes to show you that there really is potential for growth in this field. You can build a whole career.
Definitely. Busts that myth about manufacturing being a dead-end job, doesn't it?
For sure. Speaking of finding opportunities, we got to talk about this RoleCatcher platform a little more. It's got to be said that's a catchy name.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're doing some really innovative stuff with technology and job searching.
Yeah, I mean, this AI-powered resume builder they've got, tailoring your resume to a specific job description, that's pretty slick.
Right. It's like having, I don't know, a personal marketing team in your back pocket.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting an edge, that interview prep tool, wow, over 120,000 interview questions. Are you kidding me?
That's a lot of questions. I mean, think about it. You could practice answering questions specific to a mattress making machine operator role. Even get AI feedback on your performance. That's huge.
It's like having a secret weapon,
Yeah.
especially for those tricky behavioral questions, you know? Tell me about a time you failed. Ugh, I hate those. Me too. But apparently, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your answers, give you tips on everything, even your body language.
Oh, way.
It's wild. Talk about taking the guesswork out of interview prep. But, beyond the cool tech stuff, what I find most interesting about RoleCatcher is how they emphasize transferable skills. They even have this feature that helps you identify those hidden gems in your work history and apply them to different fields. Pretty cool, huh?
Totally. Which brings us back to the guide, actually. Remember how I mentioned those related careers like upholsterer or even aircraft interior technician?
Yeah, those are some interesting connections. Like, at first glance, you wouldn't think making mattresses would translate to those fields, but when you really think about it, it makes sense.
Totally. I mean, it's all about precision, attention to detail, knowing your materials inside and out. It's just applying those skills in a different context.
Right, so you could be a mattress-making machine operator who's always been fascinated by airplanes, and boom, this could be your in.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that potential, helping people see those possibilities.
It's like RoleCatcher is opening up a whole world of options. So whether you're just starting out or looking for something new, it seems like this platform could be a game changer.
No doubt. And it really speaks to how technology is changing everything, even how we find jobs.
Right. It's not just about how we work anymore. It's about expanding our horizons, seeing what else is out there.
It is. And speaking of change, the guide did mention how the mattress industry itself is evolving. Always new technologies popping up, new materials.
Yeah, like memory foam. Who would thought? Makes me wonder, what does the future hold for mattress-making machine operators? Are we going to see robots taking over the factory floor completely?
$1 million question. And it's interesting because the guide does touch on that. It talks about how automation might shift the role of the operator. Less manual labor, more technical oversight.
So instead of operating the machines directly, they're managing the robots who are operating the machines.
Exactly. Like, imagine calibrating robotic arms, troubleshooting software glitches. It's a whole different skill set.
The mattress-making machine operator of the future, part craftsperson, part tech wizard.
There you go. That's the future right there.
It is.
Yeah.
And it really ties into that theme of adaptability, right? Being open to change, always learning, evolving.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I gotta say, this deep dive has been eye-opening. We started with a mattress and ended up talking about robots and the future of work. It's amazing what you learn when you start digging.
Isn't it? That's what we love to do here.
We do. And, I think the big takeaway here is never underestimate any job. Like, mattress-making machine operator might not sound glamorous, but there's so much more to it than meets the eye.
So true. It's about the craftsmanship, the dedication, the constant learning. And who knows, maybe someone listening will be inspired to explore this field for themselves.
Maybe we've sparked a passion, or at the very least given our listeners a newfound appreciation for what it takes to make a good mattress.
Hear, hear. A good night's sleep is something we all need.
Amen to that. Until next time, folks, keep exploring, keep learning, and don't be afraid to dive deep.